School Corporation School Board of Trustees to order. I would ask for roll call. Amy?
President Duckworth, we have a full board present with Vice President Moore online, and she doesn't plan to vote this evening, so we'll do this all.
Thank you. That being said, would you all please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Melissa, can you hear all right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Next, we have good news. Jason Buchenberg.
Thank you very much, President Duckworth, Superintendent Hoover, members of the board. We start once again with good news, and we never have a shortage of that here in EVSC. So for good news this evening, you may have seen this. We had media coverage of this recently last week. The mayor's initiative on reading citywide, We Read launch. Dr. Hoover was certainly part of that, along with Clifford, the big red dog, in case you missed that on the pictures. But this was really just a nice celebration. And really the message coming out of this is how important it is for all of us in our community, whether you're an educator or a politician or a business owner, just the importance of children reading. And we know at EVSC we've seen great success this past school year for the strides we've made. And we definitely want that to continue, and not just EVSC, but our entire community. So nice celebration around that. We had a release of another What's Happening with Dr. Hoover, and this was on the Academy of Science and Medicine program. And I won't say too much of that because we've got special guests here from ASM tonight who are going to talk to you during District Spotlight. I will say, because he's not here tonight, Dr. Barnett, Joy Barnett, who is an EVSC alum, he was certainly part of this video. He has been instrumental in ASM and formerly, the former name MPA, the Medical Professions Academy, getting that off the ground, and from Vanderbilt University, and just so fascinating speaking with him if you haven't had a chance to talk to
One
him.
of our Hall of Fame members.
Yes, absolutely. And certainly a valuable asset to ASM, the EVSC of our community. Congratulations are in order for two of our basketball teams. Girls basketball, we had the 3A sectional champion Central Bears. They are now back-to-back 3A sectional champions. So they did a fantastic job over the weekend. And then we had a 4A sectional champion with the Wrights High School Panthers. So congratulations to these athletes and best of luck to them in the regional. And then last but not least, we definitely want to highlight Darby Bodart. She is a senior at Wrights High School. In fact, we're going to go out tomorrow with the media and talk to her because this is worthy of a celebration. You know, Dr. Hoover, with your high school experience, to be a, you hear us talk sometimes about National Merit semifinalists, which is amazing. She is a National Merit finalist, so she made it to the top, and you can see she is among the top 1% of high school seniors in the country. To attain this is just almost mind-boggling, so congratulations to her. We look forward to talking to her with media tomorrow and can't wait to see what she holds in her future. And that is it for good news.
Thank you. I think we also had a Harrison High School wrestler.
Yes, we did, and then we'll have some updates later. Let's see, swimming, we have some diving, students moving on, student athletes, and what else? Swimming, diving, and then the wrestling. So yeah, lots of athletic success lately, for sure.
Thank you. A lot of good things going on in the corporation. Thank you. Next is public comment, and live from the Southern office is you all won't recognize him, Pat Shoulders. He does work here, and work I use really kind of that's a flexible term. So Mr. Shoulders.
Thank you, President Duckworth. Tonight we have but one individual who has signed up to speak. He needs no warning from me nor introduction to you. A few minutes with Larry.
Going back for just a minute, I'd like to mention that Wrights beat Castle at Castle to win that sectional. I'm a member of the West Side Improvement Association. That's a neighborhood association formed in 1976, and they have some collaborations with the EVSC. I'd like to mention some of those. The city is sectioned off into 46 different neighborhood areas. Each one has a name, and they have an association. Prominent people that got started with the West Side Improvement Association: Shirley James, Fred Paget, Charlie Stocker, Paul Farmer, longtime principal at West Terrace Elementary. Current collaborations we have with the EVSC, there's a spot on our board for a rights person. That could be a student if a student would want to do that. We sponsor scholarships for seniors, not just colleges, but apprenticeships, technicians, trade school, a bunch of different scholarships. Donate profits from our fall festival to the EVSC schools. At Gateway, what we call Gateway, St. Joe in Maryland, the West Side Improvement maintains that area. You'll see some nice tulips there in April. But they had the Christmas light display. And this year, when they had the opening ceremony, the choir from Helfrich Park School came to sing with Gina Moore some Christmas songs. So we have new leadership at West Side Improvement, and we're looking for more collaborations with the EVSC. And PTAs and neighborhood associations are in the same boat. They need members. And I do more than just go to ball games.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Larry. Next on the agenda is items with Dr. Hooper.
Good evening, President Duckworth and members of the Board of School Trustees. We have 4 consent items for your consideration tonight. They are 3.01, consideration of the minutes from the February 2nd, 2026 executive session and regular board meeting. 3.02, consideration of the allowance of payments with invoices, net payroll obligation for a total allowance of payments of $9,765,123.46. 3.03, consideration to approve grant proposals. And 3.04, consideration to approve the purchase of devices for support staff secretaries. These consent items are presented for your approval. Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second on the consent items. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Okay, I will start with Vice President Moore,
Yes.
President Duckworth,
Yes.
Trustee Kiefer,
Aye.
Secretary DeVries. Aye. Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Trustee Ragland. Aye. And Trustee Gamblin.
Thank you. That passes 7-0. Next on the agenda is consideration of personnel recommendations.
Good evening, President Duckworth, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. Tonight's personnel recommendations include the following: retirement, resignations, regular appointments, resignations from extra duty, appointment to extra duty, after-school appointments, and consideration of the administrative appointment of Jeffrey Jones, head girls soccer coach at Bosse High School. These recommendations are presented for your approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second regarding the personnel recommendation. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
I'll start with Vice President Moore,
Aye.
President Duckworth,
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer.
Aye.
Secretary DeVries. Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Trustee Ragland.
Aye.
And Trustee Gamblin.
7-0, thank you. That passes. Next on the agenda is our district spotlight with Dr. Hoover.
Yes, so tonight I am excited to have a student who's coming this way right now, Ella Rodden, who is a Harrison senior. Is that right, Ella?
Yes.
And Matt Crompy, who's our director of ASM. It's an exciting time for ASM. There's a new building renovation in place, and it's a program that's dear to my heart. It started when I was a principal at Central, so it's been around for a long time. It's one of our biggest innovative models. Happy to hear what you all are going to share tonight. And Ella, thank you for being here.
Yes. So thank you for having us. The goal of the ASM is to provide a college preparatory environment for students, and we combine that with some unique community-based experiences where students actually get to go out to our local universities, healthcare institutions, and science industry partners to make an informed decision about what do they want to do? What is it really like to be a scientist or a medical professional? And so we have grown significantly over the past 15 years. We started with 50 students, and today we currently have over 250 students enrolled, representing 9 different high schools from Vanderburgh and surrounding counties. And so we're really proud of that achievement. And I think another aspect of our program that I think highlights our goal, or achieving our goal, is our graduates. And so we did a study over the past 10 years and looked at our graduates and what they were doing, and we found that 80% of our students ended up getting a degree in either a science or a healthcare field, and then 75% of those actually came back to live and work in the Evansville area. So that's an amazing testament to it. As Dr. Hoover said, we are expanding a facility at the back of Central High School. This is going to give us a couple of different opportunities for our program. And the first is doubling the capacity of the ASM to up to 500 students, which I think we are already seeing growth in our enrollment, and this is an opportunity for us to serve more students. Another opportunity for us is to give students access to more advanced technology and scientific instruments. Typically, we've designed spaces that will allow students to be able to get these opportunities well in advance of their peers across the country. And then lastly, we've purposely designed this space for community collaboration. And so we've want to make sure that our important community partners, our local universities and healthcare institutions, have the ability to continue serving our students in the best way possible. And so I'd like Ella to talk a little bit about her opportunities in the ASM.
Yeah, so I feel like ASM has really helped shape who I am academically. A big part of it is experiences going to local hospitals like St. Vincent and Deaconess. When we went to St. Vincent, it was a really cool opportunity to get hands-on learning and just get to do things with doctors and other medical professions there. And then when we went to Deaconess, I was able to shadow in the women's hospital, and that was really cool for me. I learned that I want to work in nursing, and I think specifically in the NICU. And then I feel like ASM has really helped prepare me for college. Currently I'm in a research class where I'm working on a research paper, and that class has really helped me to learn how to write scientifically and be able to learn things for myself and just write as a scholar would. And I feel like I wouldn't know what I want to do, what I want to pursue without having ASM behind me, helping me every step of the way.
Fantastic. Thank you all for being here. Now, some of the board members may have questions, but I just want to say I actually, several of us sat through a class. And my God, I am so happy there are smart students like you out there. And I will tell you that to me, this is one of our blue ribbon programs. This is a program that's needed to be expanded for a long time. And I'm just so excited about the potential that you have. But when I listened, I think there were some dissertations going on. I really needed an interpreter. And, but the way healthcare is today, and it tells you nothing, but there's just going to be more and more need down the road. And I think this is a great start, and it's a viable way for us to contribute to the healthcare industry in our community. And I can't see it doing anything but growing. So thank you all. Mr. Crumpet, thank you for your work. You've been a leader in this, and we appreciate all the time. Anyone else? Mr.
Yeah.
Kiefer?
And I appreciate the collaboration with the community, especially the health facilities, because I think it's critical that you went out. You referenced you went out. And I appreciate the fact that we're going to have better equipment. They can come in. But I think that going out is an important aspect. Going from 250 to 500, are you going to be able to find enough spots for them, if you will, to go out and visit? I mean, do you think that will be an issue or a problem for you? Because I know it is. With nursing at the higher ed and some different places, that's difficult many times. So would that be something you think?
Yeah, so that was actually, whenever we started this process, man, it's been over 5-6 years ago at this point, maybe even longer. We sat down and looked at what do we think would be a sustainable number of students that could actually be serviced by these facilities. And so we worked with our community partners, we worked with Deaconess, we worked with St. Vincent, and we actually came up with that number 500, not just randomly, but based on the capacity that they had available to expand for our program.
Great.
So you'll have educators or teachers that will be able to serve that capacity?
Correct, yes. And so we're continuing to grow. This year, we had our largest ever applicant pool. We had over 235 applicants, and we accepted about 185 of them. So, yes, yep.
Well, my granddaughter,
Yes.
Maya,
Yes.
she's at Butler, and ASM was a stepping stone, a big, I was up there with her once and toured. I was just amazed, and you know, the experience she had at ASM, she's able to just carry that on. She's at, thank you.
Thanks for being here tonight. I have two questions. I guess they're very related. What, if any, trends do you see from the medical field as far as like what the professions that they think that are going to need to be filled? And then on the flip side of that, do you see trends in students as far as like what they want to do?
I think that definitely changes. I think one of the big trends that we're seeing is the ability to go beyond just the initial four-year degree. And so there's quite a few of our students that, quite a few needs within the community for, you know, postgraduate, if you will, positions like nurse practitioners and physician's assistants and things like that. And so that expansion is needed. And I also think that we've been able to cultivate relationships with those people to come in and talk with our students and show them. And as you know, Ella has said, that's her goal, right? Is to go beyond just the traditional four-year degree and get a a graduate degree in nurse practitioners. So, and I think that's a testament to our students as well. There's a very diverse group of interests, and so we try to make sure that we have enough variety for every student to find something that is interesting to them. So.
I just thought of another question. So, man, I tell you what, I just think I just lost that question. Oh, I'm sure that your students, a lot of the college will be paid for because I'm sure they're academically high achievers, right? When they get in, do you guys have conversations, whether it's Dignitas or whoever you work with, Ascension, whomever, about them? Because nowadays you can't stop at, say, an associate or bachelor's. You got to keep going on to get more education to be a nurse, as an example, about their tuition reimbursement. Is that something that do you have somebody from their HR come in and actually talk about these benefits? Because I know they're trying to get them in. They want them bad. But I think that's a valuable thing for our students to know, this is my long-term goal, here's my plan. Now, I don't want to be saddled with $100,000 worth of debt. How can I make a good decision?
Absolutely. I think that, you know, our primary focus has been college first, and so we've really been focusing on obtaining scholarships to go directly into college. But you're right in that we have brought in the Deaconess Ascension HR department to actually have it scheduled for our juniors here in 3 weeks, where they will come in and also explore those opportunities with students that are, you know, this is your option. If you come work for us, we will help pay for your schooling as well. So that's
excellent. That's excellent. Thank you.
Any board questions this time? I would ask you to keep us updated, please, in regards not only to your progress, but any needs that you may have through Dr. Hoover, because this is, like I said, a blue ribbon program, and we want it to succeed. And it has succeeded, but we can't imagine it not getting better.
Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to add is just the integration of the program. I think is something that makes it unique. And we all want our medical practitioners to be very smart in the science, right? So they can tell us what's wrong with us. But also, equally important is the ability to communicate with empathy and to explain to people. So I think hearing you, it's not easy to come before a school board and talk about what a program looks like. And so I could see that in you when you're talking, like you're able to communicate in that way. So kudos to you.
I do have one more question, because this is so good what you're doing. So beyond, you want to go from 250 to 500. Oh, is that recruiting now beyond just Central, or has it always been where any of our other high schools could come in?
Yes, so, you know, we have been recruiting beyond Central High School now for the entirety of the program.
Okay.
And we have 9 different high schools represented, both EVSC and then out in Vandenberg and surrounding counties.
Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah, Ella is a warrior. She's a Harrison.
Oh, okay.
She's a Harrison warrior. So.
just want to tell you, Ella, I appreciate that you're going into NICU as the mom of a NICU baby. We need well-educated, compassionate folks in the NICU.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay. Next on the agenda are action items. 6.01, consideration of conflict of interest policy. Trustee Hollingsworth?
Yes. The purpose of a conflict of interest policy is to ensure that decisions made by the school board are based solely on the best interest of the school district and its students. This policy is intended to protect the integrity, transparency, and public trust in governing the EVSC district by preventing personal, financial, and other interests from improperly influencing official actions. The language is this: when a conflict of interest exists, a board member shall recuse themselves from discussion, deliberation, and voting on the matter. The board member shall not attempt to influence any decision informally or outside a meeting. Board members shall not use their position for personal gain or the gain of a spouse, domestic partner, parent, child, or sibling. Consequences: failure to comply with conflict of interest policies shall result in removal of board committees and leadership roles. The scope of this conflict of interest is the conflict of interest applies to all members of the school board. A conflict of interest exists when a member's personal, professional, financial, or family interests could reasonably be perceived to influence or appear to influence the member's judgment, decision making, or actions in their official capacity. Conflicts of interest may be actual, potential, or perceived. I motion that this conflict of interest be adopted in its entirety.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor in regards to the conflict of interest policy. Is there a second? Once again, consideration of conflict of interest policy proposed by Mr. Hollingsworth. Is there a second? Hearing no second, motion dies without a second, so we can move forward. 6.02, consideration to award the contract for Harper Elementary School Playground Project 2026. Mr. Scheller, good evening.
Good evening, President Duckworth, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover. The Harper Elementary School Playground Project 2026. Notice to bid was advertised on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on December 16th, 2025. The bids were received on January 5th, 2026. Our recommendation is to award the project to ARC Construction for the base bid amount of $233,400 plus alternate bid number 2 for $17,580 for a total of $250,980.
Move approval. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
I will start with Vice President Moore.
Aye.
President Duckworth. Aye. Trustee Kiefer.
Aye.
Secretary DeVries. Aye. Trustee Hollingsworth.
Aye.
Trustee Ragland.
Aye.
And Trustee Gamblin.
Aye.
Passes 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Scheller. Next on the agenda is 6.04, consideration to award the contract for the Wrights High School Stadium LED lighting upgrade project for 2026.
Do we have three? Do we do three already? Very high.
Sorry?
I may have missed it. 6 points. Oh, I thought he said 4. I'm sorry.
I skipped it. You're correct.
You skipped 3.
Okay,
yeah.
let's go back. My bad. 6.03, consideration to award the contract for the Perry Heights Middle School parking lot paving project for 2026.
Perry Heights Middle School Parking Lot Paving Project 2026. Notice to bid was advertised on December 12th and December 19th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on January 5th, 2026. Bids were received on January 13th, 2026. Our recommendation is to award the contract to Danco Construction for the base bid amount of $219,500, plus alternate bid number 1 for $65,300, plus alternate bid number 2 for $8,500, plus alternate bid number 3 for $15,100, plus the patch allowance of $32,925, for a total of $341,325. We also recommend the acceptance of the unit pricing.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any questions or comments?
President Duckworth,
Yes, ma'am.
I hope you can hear me. I have a question. How often, outside of the wait and everyday usage in the parking lots, will we be repaving school parking lots? And I hope you can hear me.
I did not.
How often do you have to repave?
How often do we have to repave? I don't have exactly when the last time that was done. We try to do several of them a year. We also try to address areas that might need to be just patched, so we've done that at several locations as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Okay, I will start with Vice President Moore,
Aye.
President Duckworth,
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer,
Aye.
Secretary DeVries,
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Trustee Ragland,
Aye.
and Trustee Gamblin.
Passes 7-0. And now we will move to Terry Gamblin's favorite, 6.04, consideration to award contract for the Wrights High School Stadium LED lighting upgrade project 2026.
The Wrights High School Stadium LED Lighting Project Upgrade 2026. Notice to bid was advertised on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on December 17th, 2025. Bids were received on January 7th, 2026. Our recommendation is to award the contract to Alva Electric for the base bid amount of $259,000.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments or questions?
Much needed.
Much needed. Okay. Roll call vote.
I will start with Vice President Moore,
Aye.
President Duckworth,
Yes.
Trustee Kiefer,
Aye.
Secretary DeVries,
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Trustee Ragland,
Aye.
and Trustee Gamblin.
All right, that passes 7-0. Thank you, Mr. Scheller. We'll have you back here shortly. Next is 6.05, consideration to approve the purchase of devices for students.
Good evening, President Duckworth, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. In our February 2nd board meeting, I presented an informational item concerning the purchase of 2,390 Lenovo Chromebooks for all incoming 9th grade students and students enrolled in New Tech Institute. This purchase will be made utilizing the TIPS nationally recognized purchasing program in conjunction with K-12 Tech, an Indiana-based technology company. Funding will be provided through a combination of Student Technology Advancement Account funds, Common School funds, and the Operation Fund. The Office of Technology is recommending your approval to purchase these student devices. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. I do have a question. What's the total cost on these?
The total cost is $882.
Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, $882,100 and wait. Let me say this again. Sorry, $882,125.10.
I wanted to get that on the record. That's a pretty good amount, so we'll make sure that it's on the verbal record for the folks listening at home. All right, we have a, do we have a motion and a second? I think we did at that point. Yeah, okay. Roll call vote, please.
Okay, I'll start with Vice President Moore,
Aye.
President Duckworth,
Yes.
Trustee Kiefer,
Aye.
Secretary DeVries,
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Trustee Ragland,
Aye.
and Trustee Gamblin.
That's a 7-0. Thank you. And finally, 6.06, consideration to approve the agreement with Burgess Healthcare Staffing. Michelle Williams.
Good evening, President Duckworth, members of the board, Dr. Hoover. Tonight, I request your approval to move forward with a partnership with Emergis Healthcare Staffing to temporarily fill existing healthcare vacancies until permanent hires are made. As shared last week, this is a short-term stabilization measure, not a long-term staffing strategy. Emergis will recruit, screen, hire, and assign qualified staff who meet all district credential and licensing requirements. These individuals will remain Emergis employees while the district retains responsibility for daily supervision, schedules, and student care. Because these staff are not district employees, there will be no added benefit costs. The total cost will not exceed $100,000 annually and will be funded through the operations fund. I'm requesting your approval to move forward this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. We have a motion in 2 seconds. Is there any questions or comments?
Is this something, I don't recall us doing this before.
We haven't for our nurses before, but we have found here lately that we've had several openings come open and it takes a little while to fill them, and so we're hoping that this will help us staff those while we work to find a more permanent solution.
This is for nurses, school nurses, correct?
Yes.
Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Vice President Moore,
Aye.
President Duckworth,
Aye.
Trustee Kiefer,
Aye.
Secretary DeVries,
Aye.
Trustee Hollingsworth,
Aye.
Trustee Ragland,
Aye.
and Trustee Gambler.
Thank you. Okay, that's going to move us into information items. The next 3 items, Steve Scheller, 7.01, consideration to award the contract for the Hebron Elementary School roofing project 2026.
Good evening once again, President Duckworth, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover. The Hebron Elementary School Roofing Project 2026. Notice the bid was advertised on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on December 16th, 2025. Bids were received on January 8th, 2026. The board has received a bid tabulation sheet for this project, and I will recommend awarding this project to Lehman Roofing at the next scheduled school board meeting. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions or comments? Okay, that moves us into 7.02, consideration to award the contract for the Lincoln School roofing project. Mr. Scheller?
Lincoln School Roofing Project 2026. Notice to bid was advertised on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on December 16th, 2025. Bids were received on January 8th, 2026. The board has received a bid tabulation sheet for this project. I will recommend awarding this project to B&S Roofing at the next scheduled school board meeting. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Are they local?
They are out of Rockport. They've done quite a bit of work here for the EVSC.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, that moves us to consideration to award the contract for the local elementary school roofing project.
The Vogel Elementary School Roofing Project 2026. Notice to bid was advertised on December 5th and December 12th, 2025. A pre-bid meeting was held on December 16th, 2025. Bids were received on January 8th, 2026. The board has received a bid tabulation sheet for this project, and I will recommend awarding this project to Midwest Roofing and Sheet Metal at the next scheduled school board meeting. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I've got one, Steve. I'm just curious. We got 3 roofing projects and 3 different vendors. Is it because of the uniqueness of each building, or is it because of a manpower issue? They just can't take on 3 at one time?
Absolutely. So we only have a 10-week summer. It's really tough to get some of these projects finished. The one we're talking about here is actually a 33,000 square foot project, which is a huge project to try to get done in 10 weeks. Some of these companies only have 1 crew that they work with. Some of them have multiple crews, and of course, we've got a project at ASM right now where we're pulling some of those folks too as well. So we were fortunate to get 3 good bids, I believe.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's not alarming either. That's actually very good, because a lot of contractors have a core of men, and when they have to hire outside their core, that's where efficiency goes down, craftsmanship and different things. When they've only got 1 or 2 crews, it's perfectly fine. In fact, it's better. Yeah, so, good. It's not a
I
lot.
think we were fortunate that there was 3 different companies on each project, if that's what you're asking, yes.
That is a very good thing. That's very healthy.
It's really nice is when they're all local, I don't know if they are, but we like to, use local workforce when we can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Scheller. 7.04 is notice of upcoming hearing. Dr. Underwood, good evening.
Good evening, President Duckworth, members of the board, and Dr. Hoover. This is just a notice of a pre-hearing that will be coming up at the next board meeting. It's that time of year to begin our annual issuance of a general obligation bond to support the work that goes on in the district. Just a new requirement this year is just to provide notice that we will be having a hearing that will be coming up at the next board meeting. Happy to answer any questions that you might have about this process.
Questions or comments at this time? Thank you, sir. We now move into continued business. Dr. Hoover.
I'll start. I feel like some of this is a repeat of good news, but I'll begin by thanking Matt Crompy and Ella, who stayed for the whole board meeting. And I saw some other central teachers out there, so thank you so much for being here to represent ASM. It is one of our 8 innovative models, and students are increasingly participating in innovative models as a pathway to graduation, so I'm glad that we have those in our district. A weather update: when we met last Monday, we hadn't yet returned to school, and happy to say we had no incidents. I think that's due to our transportation and facilities team and all of their efforts ensuring that we had a safe return. So grateful to Stephen and his team and Ryan Williams and his team for all that they did to make that happen. And lastly, I want to thank Tradisha Brooks, who on our end, she's our liaison working with the mayor on We Read. We had this idea last year that we wanted some more intentionality around engaging our families and our community in early literacy efforts. And so Tradisha has really done an extraordinary job making those things happen, and thankful to the mayor for highlighting this importance and getting our whole community involved in that. I think our district and our whole community rallying around kids and reading is going to result in good things for young learners. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Dr. Hoover. I'd like to kind of piggyback on that in regards to the snow removal. And I know you've always got people that are going to second guess, whether or not you should have school or not have school. I will tell you, as the former city and county transportation director, that every one of these events are different. This one here, more than I've ever seen, did not melt. The temperature was so low, it just was extremely difficult to even get to the secondary streets, much less get the primary streets removed. And I think crews did as well as they did. But as far as the decision to stay out of school, I think we did exactly what was right, because our students, our bus drivers and our teachers and everyone's safety is first and foremost. And I'll take the criticism every day. We had no one hurt. We had no episodes. So to me, I think it was handled great. Tonight, we're looking into buying more computers. That's why we do this. That's why we have take-home laptops for kids, so that they can communicate with their teachers when we have incidents like this. So I think it all worked well together. Hopefully, the weatherman will be more conducive to having school. So, but I think, Darla, I think you made the sometimes tough decisions. I think they were good decisions, and I thank our staff for our parking lots and our sidewalks. People don't understand it out there when you're clearing the roadway. The snow's got to go somewhere, and when you pile it over on the sidewalk, where are the kids going to walk? So there's just a lot of things to consider, and I just think it went really well. And thanks to our staff and the city and county staffs for working through that. So thank you.
Darla, could I ask the question, the days we had off, how are we doing with what the state is requiring, and do you expect the state to be lenient in any way?
So we were off 6 days, and we used asynchronous for one of those 3 synchronous days. So in total, we had 4 virtual days, and we used 2 that technically right now we we would lose our snow makeup days, those potential days we had in the spring. We did submit a waiver through IDOE to see if we can get a waiver for those days, for the 2 that we didn't have virtual instruction. And if we can, then those would bring those days back for us in the spring. And that's assuming we get no more weather events that call school off. But we did apply for the IDOE waiver.
I have a question. If it's declared a state of emergency, like state and local or city, is that help the waiver at all?
It does, and the turnaround has been really fast. We just submitted, I think this morning early or maybe late Friday, and so we hope to hear something here in the next couple of days. But certainly that helps. There are some rules, like you have to have used up all of your asynchronous days that were allowed, which we did. We were allowed 3, and we used that on our last one on Monday. And then the choice to do synchronous was really just to keep kids connected to school and prevent, in the event that we don't get a waiver, prevent from using all of those days this spring. So we're hopeful to get a waiver because of the state of emergency.
Dr. Hoover, if you could, for the listening and viewing audience, can you explain those modalities? You said synchronous, asynchronous. I don't know that everybody knows what that means.
Yeah, so when we're on an asynchronous day, what that means is the teacher and students are not live together. So a teacher posts an assignment for students, and students do have their devices at home. So many students will get on and start to work on their assignment, and they're due usually a week from when they're posted. Teachers are, of course, available if a student wants to email or reach out to ask questions. Teachers are available for that. Synchronous is really when there's a set schedule, and at that time, the teacher pops in and the student joins, and they are actually communicating through using their devices. So it's really like school, but they're on computer instead. And there's usually an assignment that follows for that as well. But I think our teachers did, I still have a high schooler, so I could hear what was going on. I think our teachers do a very good job of keeping kids engaged. I think I told you the last time, kindergarten teacher, there's a video recap whenever you do these, and I watched her video recap of the kindergartners. And first of all, hats off to kindergarten teachers, because it was extraordinary to see that. But teachers did a great job with how do we navigate this and how do we keep kids connected to one another and to learning while we were off. And so, yeah.
Thank you.
It's my understanding that also when they see impending weather, that they start giving them assignments so that they're ready in case something happens.
Yeah, I think something that worked really well this time, and we were watching weather ahead of time. So Thursday before the weather event, we were able to put out a message to staff and to families that said, if we're only out 1 day, here's what it will look like. If we're out 2, if we're out 3. And so people had an idea of what to expect, which also allowed teachers to talk to students about what this is going to look like. Younger students who've never done it, it gave them a chance to practice and to get I know one of the things for little people is always like, what's in the background? How are they changing their setting? And so, but taking the fun side out of it too, it gave them a chance to practice. So we had pretty high participation, and we internally got a ton of positive feedback from teachers, especially just thanking us for, it was just helpful to know what to anticipate, so.
Great. Any other comments or questions from the board?
I have one. All board members get a magazine, a journal, and there was a article in there that caught my attention about AED. So do we have those in our schools? Like, is it every school or just a couple?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, yeah.
We do.
How important it was, yes.
Any other comments from the board? There are any students here this evening? Front and center. Ella, you're good. Okay. You get a hall pass. All right. Normally we have artwork, and as you can see, did you have some?
I apologize, the no must have gotten Canary Heights, but it just outside in the.
Oh, it's outside. Okay, well, I can't comment on it because I can't see it. No. But anyway,
stop on your way out.
Stop on your way out. That's right. Okay. Appreciate all that hard work, and we don't want it to be just more, but thank you for pointing that Is there any other business to come before the board this evening? Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
This means adjourn. Thank you for coming.